We're live. Okay, guys, you're not going to believe this, but I just got delivery of Dear Mr. President in Spanish. I shit you not. Listen, fasten your seatbelt, activate your airbags, because Laura speaks fluent Spanish thanks to artificial intelligence. Get ready to be blown away. Check this out. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Here we go.
Hoy enfrentamos un tipo de guerra muy diferente, no con tanques, sino con algoritmos. Los gigantes de las redes sociales, impregnados de matices marxistas, se han convertido en guardianes del pensamiento, censurando precisamente a las voces que buscan restaurar la cordura y la soberanía. Señor presidente, somos la nueva corriente dominante, los podcasters, los que decimos la verdad y los pregoneros digitales. Si realmente crees que la pluma es más poderosa que la espada, ahora es el momento de usarla. Redacte una orden ejecutiva que nivele el campo de juego y proteja la primera enmienda del control férreo de las grandes empresas tecnológicas. Estamos listos, nuestros micrófonos están calientes, solo no nos dejen silenciados. Atentamente, Laura Eisenhower.
How cool is that?
It's so cool.
How cool is that, guys?
Is that all done with AI?
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, it looks so real. Usually AI just the mouth or something looks way off. That
I know. It's so
I wish I could
synchronized.
travel and just have that ability to just have it translate for me when I go to other countries. My gosh.
Yeah, technology is moving at lightning speed. Mr. Goodluck, our chief editor, went crazy. I said, I want you to find me the best. I don't care what it costs us. We got a couple of dollars donated, not a lot, a couple of grand, $2,300, whatever. I said, I'll spend, that to get the software. It's not cheap. They charge you based on usage. Okay. So you know how that could go. Right. And so we still got to go Italian, Chinese, Russian, Swedish, French, and so on. So we got a bunch of languages to go. I think somebody just got here.
That's so cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yes, absolutely. Chuck. Oh my God, guys, you guys got to know about Chuck. Chuck is not only a brother from another mother, he is actually a wealth of knowledge when it comes to, he reminds me of me when I started. I was the guy tying in the Q movement and tying in everything into the new financial system and XRP and Satoshi Nakamoto, aka David Schwartz, and Garlinghouse and the White House and the Q movement, all of it combined together. And when he talks about it, him and I have that special language going on. We understand what the fuck it is we're talking about, And so he's going to be doing workshops at Staying Alive with Mark, who is another guy who's a walking, talking encyclopedia. I'm going to tell you right now, the best guys who are not yet podcasters, who are about to be podcasters, who know more shit than the guys who've been here for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, have yet to even buy a fucking microphone. And they're here right now. Chuck, say hello to the crowd, brother. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Chuck. Nice to meet
Chuck.
you.
Nice to meet you.
I've watched you all for years.
Yeah.
I've always been in the background.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot.
Yeah, he does know a lot. Him and I get into conversations that last hours, and it seems that we're only talking for like 5 minutes, and exciting stuff. So, the Staying Alive business model that we created down in Cape Canaveral was created specifically to do events. It's event-driven place. It's got a stage. It's got sound system. It's got corporate chairs on stage, like the ones that they use in, when Brad Garlinghouse. As a matter of fact, our chairs are exactly some of the chairs that Brad Garlinghouse sits on these chairs internationally on some of the other international stages. And we got a big backdrop, a big screen TV and projectors. We got it all. We got everything. Okay. And so workshops are coming, whether it's going to be monthly or bi-monthly or every 6 weeks. We'll let you know. The only way you find out about our events, just go to Staying Alive with 2 E's. And if you want to attend a workshop and learn about what is coming and that you can't do away without, it's not like you can say, oh, you know what, I'll stay in the old fiat monopoly money system and you guys go ahead without me. No, that option is not available. And Chuck will tell you that better than anybody. So it's going to be very exciting to see how this all unfolds. Brian is going to be there, for my good friend Brian Monkey, and he knows a lot of you. You guys got to break bread and have breakfast the other day in Cocoa Beach. That was exciting. and we're sitting next to a pilot, and he's telling us that the Earth is round. So that was
Time to wake up.
Conversation, right? Yeah, yeah. So, brother, tell us a little bit about what you know. I mean, you're the new kid on the block. We gotta, get you out there now. But people need to know who you are and what you bring to the table. That people are going to want to come down and hang out and know about the quantum financial system.
For me, it was quite of a long journey. I basically started realizing things were happening to me that were not explainable. Like when Trump announced he was not going to run against Barack Obama, which I believe I can remember was like the same day that they stopped the Mayan calendar. They announced that on Fox News, that little 5-minute bloop they'd have during the day, and I heard that, and I walked around my truck and trailer up in Jacksonville for almost 45 minutes going, that's the man. That's it. That's it. That's the guy right there. And for some reason, God just lit me up as far as Trump. And we all know where that's led to by now. I believe a lot of the stuff that's happening right now is biblical. So it is exactly 100%. But in my progress, basically, I started to realize some things that things were really being there was some control in this whole thing. When I saw it is when the election in 2020 happened. And I was on Epoch Time at the time because that's really the only place we could go for any kind of information. And I started diving into the comment sections of Epoch. And in there, I was starting to learn about these other people like Whiplash 347, Bill Godlewski, Code Monkey Z, and all of those people that were around in the very beginning. And I started to quickly put together that this was more like an operation than it was what we were really seeing on the surface. And I felt that Trump really had us and knew that this was kind of something was going on. So that led us to going to YouTube and getting censored. And then they came up with the idea that let's go to Telegram, which Telegram was brand new. Really, it wasn't. Being that I was a computer guy, I remember in 2014 when the NSA came out and said they developed a social media application called Telegram. So I then quickly realized from back there in 2014 to right then when they told us to go to that, I said, aha. So I myself knew that was probably the place to be to start to get knowledge. And I would say that at first I was doing it for myself. And what I was doing is I wanted to have a kind of a chronological where we've been. There was no way to do it in Telegram so what I did is create a channel, which was just for myself. And I would post everything that happened to us during that day. And I have been very, I am on that, by the way. So anyway, that's where a lot of my knowledge is because I've kept up with that channel. And through the years, people would say, holy crap, man, you got all that in your private little channel that you're keeping. You mind if I join? And I'd say, sure, but understand it's not for you. I'm just keeping a chronological history of what happened to us. And about a year and a half into it, at a live podcast with Bill Godlewski, who they said there was 45 million watching. He was in some little thing he was teaching us about, and right in the middle of it, he stopped and he looked at the camera and he said, hey, Ocala, that's where I was from at the time. I like what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, so I had some people that were watching the podcast with me because it's supposed to be pretty big. And they start slapping me and say, bro, that's you. And then I realized, holy crap, they are really watching me on everything I'm doing here. So I just drilled down even more. And I started to add what I would call people like Mel into the channel, because I really don't want the common person. I want people that understand what's going on, can contribute to what I do, but I give a lot in there. So I'm post probably anywhere from 300 to 500 posts a day about what's happening. I stay at about 40,000 feet through this whole thing because I've been taught that through doing it. You know what I mean? And it's helped me in understanding a lot of what's really going on. Even though Hugh helps us with everything that's going on, it's really been, I've listened to what they've taught me. You follow me? And I think that I've had the opportunity now to contribute in that knowledge by working with Mel and be able to propagate that information. Because in the end, that's what this is all about. You'll see we're moving the line right now, meaning that we had this many people that were against everything, and various things that are going on in our life and that are happening to us are pushing that line this way, to where there's more and more people understanding what's going on and have some clue, so that when they do flip the switch, we only have that 4 to 6% that are going to revolt or whatever happen.
Well, people can follow him on Telegram, XRP Shaman, I believe. That's where you're at, correct?
Yeah, now my channel is private, so in order to get on it, I have to send you the link. That's why I've been able to keep it where there's just not a lot of people in it that don't believe. I want to have like-minded people in the channel, and I want to educate. So that's what we're doing. And all of you can contribute to that aspect of this in various articles and things like that. For instance, Mel, did you get that video I sent you yesterday morning about all of the private ledgers on the Ripple ledger?
I did. I glanced at it, but I didn't get a chance to really click play button.
Listen, I've known this for a long time and had put it all together. I don't know, from a visionary aspect, or God showed me, or whatever. But I knew that we were running blind pool, and I know that the Ripple ledger can take care of what I would call private ledgers within the Ripple ledger. And in doing so, I believe that's exactly how they're running our current system in a private ledger. We're seeing the decentralized side of this, where it's the $3 XRP. But we're not attached to what the liquidity is needed in that other ledger, the private ledger, which there are several, by the way. And this document that was sent to me yesterday was absolutely phenomenal in pointing all that out. And it just, for me, checking the box off is exactly what I anticipated and knew all along.
Absolutely. Well, that's how you can find them, guys. XRP Shaman is the name of your channel on Telegram, right? And don't join fake ones, okay? There's only one. All right. Actually, he's actually Jeff Bezos. I just showed the video to our people before we actually.
Here, I'll give them the look. He told me, he said, go get a hat on. I just got done working out. I'm calling him because tomorrow we're going to Caleb and Brown.
Yes.
Right. So I'd lined that up to we're all going to go meet them in their office down there. I knew long before this that Caleb and Brown was coming here. Mel probably knew too. But I truly understand why they're coming here. And it goes back to the 7 kingdoms. Because in fact, Whiplash just posted something that outlines the entire structure of the 7 kingdoms and why everybody's going to be in this kingdom, and Australia and New Zealand are going to be in our kingdom. Get ready. Yep. There was a reason why Trump changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Yep. Because, right.
And we got the great Ron Partain. Thank you for joining us, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Are you driving your BMW convertible, or
I'm not? I would not be driving my convertible and be on here. You would not be able to hear me.
You got that beautiful picture of you. Was that you back in high school or what?
Oh no, that's just that's a couple months ago. But I had like an artistic rendering of it. Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm actually a mess right now. I've been so consumed with writing my manuscript of my book, and I'm trying to get it uploaded as quickly as possible. It's the title of my book is called "The Most Embarrassing Verse in the Bible," which is if anybody are Bible scholars, then they'll know that was a C.S. Lewis quote. That's not my words. And basically, what I'm doing in the first 2 chapters is I go through and I completely dismantle the whole Zionist Israeli thing structure, how it all formed, and anyway, I woke up this morning and I was inspired, and I'm like, you know what, I need to do like an epilogue, some sort of an appendix that talks about the whole Charlie Kirk situation and how it conforms to that whole thing. So anyway, that's why I've been radio silent for so long.
Got you. I think he dropped off, and I think we got to get him back on. Hold on.
Hey, Mike and Ron, you missed. We opened the show today with the AI version
of Spanish
in Spanish of "Dear Mr. President," and you can't even imagine how. I mean, it's hysterical, like to see us all speaking Spanish, but that don't. But it's so synchronized, and it looks so perfect. So Mel, when's that going to actually be available? Like, when are we going to?
It's available now. Ron, would you like to see yourself speaking Spanish?
Okay, Mike, you got to see yourself.
Yeah, that would be actually kind of funny.
Actually, it's not funny because it is so almost perfect.
So real.
It's scary. It is scary. Okay.
People are going to think that we speak fluent. They're going to come up to us at events and start speaking Spanish like we know.
Probably. I wouldn't put that.
Well, I speak a little Spanish, so.
But wait until I show you.
I'm in Southern California. It's if you don't speak Spanish in Southern California, you can't really get stuff done sometimes.
I think one's about 27 minutes.
Here we go. Ready? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Here you go.
Quienes tienen el poder califican tus palabras de peligroso, tus ideas de demasiado radical, tratar de una amenaza. La batalla ha evolucionado. Antes la censura era un dominio del gobierno, con su máquina de propaganda del Pentágono y los poderes regulatorios de la FCC. Hoy los censores son corporaciones privadas.
Nuestra primera enmienda está siendo atacada no solo por las grandes empresas tecnológicas, sino también por agencias gubernamentales que conspiran a puerta cerrada, se silencian voces, se cierran plataformas y la disidencia se etiqueta como desinformación. Esto no es libertad, es tiranía disfrazada de algoritmos.
Estimado señor presidente, mi nombre es Trena Evans y quiero agradecerle por los valientes indultos.
What do you think?
That's impressive.
Very.
Sounds like my voice.
It is your voice. It's your voice.
It's incredible.
What did you guys use? Did you use 11 Labs?
No, I forget what software he uses. It's not cheap, and it's based on usage. The more you use it, the more they charge you. So, but we're probably going to drop in $1,000 on this thing by the time we translate, 7 or 8 or 9 languages easily.
Yeah, that sounds like 11 Labs.
Yeah, and look at this handsome guy. Check this out. Check this handsome guy out.
Rápidamente se convirtió en un documental. Ahora déjenme ser franco, nunca he hecho tales. Solo había un poco de celos involucrados. El carisma es algo peligroso en ambientes inseguros, pero no guardo rencores. Lucho incluso por aquellos que me ignoraron. Grandes podcasters, pequeños podcasters, no importa. Estoy luchando por todos ellos, porque esto no se trata de Mel Carmine. Esto se trata de la libertad de expresión. Esto se trata de la guerra contra la libertad de expresión. Por eso la película es gratis. No estamos cobrando ni un centavo.
Can you imagine?
You look like a villain from Miami Vice there, Mel. You look like
okay.
Where's
Mel,
John Johnson? Where's Rico and Tubbs?
Mel, you know who that sounds like? You know who that sounds like? It sounds like the colonel. I think he's a Nicaraguan colonel in Red Dawn, who played. That's who you sound like.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that guy. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, so the first channel I gave it to, see, look what I'm when you look at it from, you say, oh, Mel's an asshole, Mel's arrogant, he's got that big chair, he's ridiculous, he's from New York, etc. The reality is I'm really the nicest guy in the freaking world, and I think Ron Partain will probably tell you that. I gave the movie already to a lady who has a channel that's got 50,000 subscribers. They're all Spanish. Why wouldn't I do that? Right? I didn't even upload it to DearMrPresident.net yet. I already gave
Talk
it
to
to
them
her.
in their own lingo, man.
Go.
Yeah. Talk to them in their own lingo.
What's the next language you're going to put it in?
Italian and then Chinese.
Please not French.
To see Mel Carmine
He's not French.
I would disagree. I would say French should be your next one.
Well, we're doing French also. We're doing Russian as well.
German?
We're doing German as well.
Well, you got to you got to think about this, and I mean this respectfully.
Sure.
Before English became the language of the world, it was French, and that change didn't happen until within the last 20 years or so. French used to be the universal language. That was whenever you'd go to the Olympics. A lot of the most Olympics in foreign countries were done in French.
Yeah, and then the German.
They're all coming. All the languages are coming. It's like a couple of days apart. It's not like it's going to be a long wait for all these languages.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, then the Germans came along and everything was English after World War II. So French, who are the French? You know why there's so many trees in Paris, Mel? Because the Germans like to march in the shade.
Ah.
Okay. Anyway, can we go back to, was it Stu or was it Chuck talking about the Seven Kingdoms when I first came on? I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't have the link and something screwed up. And I wanted to ask you, you mentioned, New Zealand and Australia being part of the English kingdom, right? And so I've heard United States, Canada, maybe Greenland's going to get thrown in there. And I've even
I got the list right here.
Yeah. And then New Zealand and then even England might move out of
basically.
Yeah.
I knew things were going to happen, and I started getting calls from Caleb and Brown because I was saying certain things in the podcasts about they're going to be part of. And if you look at it's all the British nation. And if you look at the gold, it has the Queen on the back of their coins. Right. Yeah. So New Zealand, and right here it says it. Let me just see here. I believe Whiplash 347 is somebody very important, by the way.
Okay.
Very, very important. All right, let's see what it says right here. Okay, the UK. People in the UK still don't realize. No, we know about that. Hold on. Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, and the Pacific. Melanese, MICRONESIA islands to the USA, whatever that means. British government dissolved.
Yeah. Micronesia, that would be the small Pacific islands. Yeah. Okay.
Right. And I saw the seal, but when Whiplash published all the seals, they didn't show us the America's seal. All they showed us was the flag part of where the actual eagle is flying, and that's all he took a picture. But at the bottom of the caption, it said United States, Canada, ASU, and Pacific.
Mm-hmm. Chuck, I remember seeing that maybe, 5 years ago, that was what the published going, around for what was going to be part of the America, or one of the kingdoms. So that seems like maybe it's more confirmation, but that was exactly what I heard 4 years ago. And I don't remember where, because like you, I'm watching everyone and taking all the information in from everywhere.
So basically, I realized this was all a biblical thing a while back, and that everything was. Bo Pony is very good as far as timelines. What he did is he went back to the David timeline, brought it up to now, and basically plugged it in, and it was exactly the same things were happening right now as far as how long he had to wait. So that's why he could tell you something's going to happen because it already did in the David timeline. In understanding that, you have to look back at Trump's, at all of this, what we've been through here in the last year. Remember on September 27th, we had the hurricane in Tampa, and it traveled all the way to Asheville, North Carolina in less than 9 hours. And if you can't get in a car and do that, because I used to live up there, so I can tell you driving back and forth from this area takes longer than that. So anyway, and bam, we get a 65-foot flood that goes there. But the one thing that's key to that is it was also the time of when the Star of Jacob appeared. And if you go back to the prophecy in Numbers 9 or 19 or 24, it's in Numbers somewhere. It talks about God was going to reveal to us when the star appeared, his new King David. It'll be at a time when men believe they can give birth to babies. This was 3,500 years ago. 1,000 years later, we have the prophecy of Bethlehem, and it says that prophecy is real and it's for a distant time. How about 2,500 years from now? And that's exactly basically what it is. So what do we have? From that date, we have 40 days. God loved doing everything in numbers. We know he loves numbers, like 40. He uses a lot. What happens 40 days after that Star of Jacob appears in our solar system? He announced his new King David. It was when Trump was elected president. Yeah, it was funny. I was turned off of Google about 7 days before that. I couldn't do anything. They wouldn't let me do anything till about 1 o'clock in the morning after the election. My stuff started coming back. Ding, ling, 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 ling. Like, okay, I'm back. Yeah, it was crazy. I guess they didn't want me talking back then.
Yeah, probably not. I have kind of an alternate configuration of that. Let me see if I can.
One more thing. Let me contribute to 40 weeks after that flood. We had July 4th, and we had another flood. Did we not? In Texas. Yes, we did. So these times that are happening right now are very mapped out. They've already been predicted.
Okay, so what I want to do is show you what I've heard before. Mel, can you show that screen that I'm sharing there in the background? Yeah, so this is what I was told by various people. The so-called 7 kingdoms of man is what they're talking about. So there's, and this is rough, it's not perfect, but there's South America, there's Africanus, which is the African nations. There's an Arabia kingdom, the American Union, which I did hear, and I've got, America, Hawaii, Greenland, Iceland, England, Australia, New Zealand, and then Pacifica, which is most of the Pacific Islands, Asia, which is dominated by China, and then Europa, which is going to be mainly Russian, and including the Baltic states. So is that similar to
what you're seeing? Is once you get in the channel, make sure you get this, and yeah, you'll be able to you have all this as a reference, which they put a lot of stuff in there. In fact, sometimes I will ask them for things, and they will send them to me.
Okay.
I asked for them to send me the picture of a certain person up on the standing on top of George Washington's head, and it supposedly was a picture by what's his name?
Oh, the one on Vincent Fusca, supposedly, or JFK Jr. on top of Mount Rushmore, right? That
Yeah,
one?
yeah. And so
David Straight.
Dave Straight and his photographer, and as well they were in with Junior,
okay,
John Jr. on his helicopter.
Yeah,
and so they had the video in the channel. I'm in a private channel. They had that video, and I responded back to them, hey, it would really be nice to have that picture of John up on the head there. And about 2 hours later in the channel, poof, there it is. The other day I was talking with B, Ryan, and we were talking about the Ghost in the Machine, and not 3 posts later, there's the post of somebody recently just put that in there.
Well, isn't that a coincidence?
Listen, that's why I'm here.
Okay. That was fascinating. Why did I pick that?
I want to say to all of you, I am honored to be here. Truly, I am. Thank you.
Yes. Check your text message, Chuck.
Let's see here.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on the subject of this gentleman, unfortunately, that got killed. Charlie Kirk. What do you guys make of this whole thing? There's 8 billion people on planet Earth, and for every person, there's at least 2 opinions. Correct? 2 opinions. That means we have 16 billion theories out there of what happened. Now, I personally don't believe the guy on the roof did the shooting. I think he thinks he did took a shot. I think he thinks that a 30-06 hit Charlie in the neck and didn't come out the other side. We all saw the blood. We all saw the gory video. But I think that's their patsy. I think the shooter is somewhere in the crowd with a much smaller round. I know you're a ballistics guy, Ron, so I'm going to go to you first.
I was going to say, is there anybody in here who's a gun guy?
A little bit.
Okay. If you know anything about a 30-06, okay.
I have one.
A 30-06 is basically it was created as a infantry round, specifically in like World War I, World War II. I mean, if you look at the M1, which was the primary service rifle of all U.S. infantry in World War II, they were using M1 Garands, and that was a 30-06 round. That round will take down an elk at 800 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. So you hit a person at 200 yards, the muzzle velocity on that thing, half of Kirk's upper torso would have been, it would have been annihilated. So I don't buy that at all. I don't buy any of the story out there. Something is definitely haywire here, but that and then you take into the consideration of the weapon disassembly. Bullshit. You cannot disassemble. They want us to believe that a Mauser is like an AR-15. Well, an AR-15, you have 2 takedown pins. You take those 2 takedown pins and you can break that weapon in half in 10 seconds. A Mauser, not so much. You need like dedicated tools and a workspace, and even with that, without all of the chaos going on, it's probably going to take you a good 4 to 5 minutes to disassemble that weapon. Secondly, something that nobody's even talking about. How old was this kid? 22? Yep. Whatever. Okay. Well, I mean, if you've ever like hunted anything, when before you pull the trigger and actually take the life of an animal, your heart is pounding. Okay, that's an animal. I mean, this kid had never killed a human being before, and you can't imagine what he would have been going through at that moment of time. And for him to have the precision that he had to fire that weapon, it does not make any sense whatsoever.
Well, I've heard other riflemen say that it's a pretty easy shot, and that with a little bit of training, you or I could do it. And I hear you about that if you've never killed anybody. But there are people out there who disagree with you on that one, Ron.
Well, they can disagree with me all they want, but they've never killed a person.
Yeah, but Ron, there also begs the question, I mean, if we go down another rabbit hole, if this kid did it, right? Which seems unlikely from a lot of ways. But when people are MK Ultra, they can do anything. They're not going to have emotion in what they do. They're not going to be nervous. They're going to they're trained, brainwashed. And I'm not saying I believe he did it, but I'm just saying that that's another argument for those who think he did.
There are people that run ultras that are trained assassins that look like everyday people.
I'm just saying the precision of the shot, it doesn't make any that in combination with the with how he was hit and it just none of it makes
I'm
any
more
sense.
inclined to believe that weapon is not going to just make a little tiny hole. That is clear what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a gun guy, but I did nothing for about 4 or 5 days but watch gun guys, snipers, talk about it, ballistics experts, people shooting 30 or 6 into, various things. Now,
the story holds no water. The story holds no water. Zero.
Zero.
There's a very good chance that the guy on the roof, there was a blank in that. He thinks he shot him and someone else shot him. There's also people saying that to make a shot like that with your heart going, or whether you're MK Ultra or not, is that to assemble a weapon and make that shot, you need to scope that sight in and everything with a couple of shots first. Do you know what I mean? So to go up there and put it together and then pull off one shot, there's so many people saying, no.
Yep, that's true.
Candace right now is being the biggest thorn in the government side, and Kash Patel would love to silence her and muzzle her, but he doesn't know how. Okay, and she's blowing holes in that thing left, right, and center. I think she's the biggest problem they have right now, and she's making a lot of people.
No, not just her. You got Tucker. I mean, you got a whole bunch of people. And see, here's the problem. Here's the problem. If they silence Candace Owens, then they got to go after Tucker Carlson. Then they got to go after a whole bunch of other people. And all that's going to do what that's going to do. Oh, not Alex Jones. Is Alex Jones out there talking about that little country in the southeastern Mediterranean?
What do you guys? Is it okay to ask a question after you guys finish that thought?
Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. We saw the guys there doing the baseball signals, and at least there is something going on. I mean, Kash Patel tweeted yesterday, we're going to investigate everything, including the people giving the hand signals. There's the guy who looks like he's holding something pointing kind of at Charlie Kirk on the side. But then when the shot happens, you don't see anything from that. So I don't know if anything. I don't know what's going on.
No muzzle flash.
I didn't see one in any of the videos I saw, so it might be. But again, at least it seems like there's going to be some sort of investigation. I wonder if you guys think that this investigation is going to be one where they actually will expose the lies of the police or whatever. I mean, is this in some ways a sting investigation to try to catch people that are going to try to cover this up? Any thoughts about that, or is that just crazy train?
That's a distinct possibility. I hadn't considered that, but that's a distinct possibility. But the reason that Candace is such a thorn in the side is because they're all bringing in the J question or the I question, whichever one you want to talk about. But that's the thorn in the side. And that is it. It reminds me of Star Wars. The more you tighten your grip, the more star systems are going to slip through your fingers. And so if they tighten the grip, and more people are going to wake up. And I think we're already seeing that right now, just by what Charlie Kirk was doing.
But why is nobody on the mainstream media talking about these obvious hand signals right before the shot? I mean, it seems to me that I know why, because they're all bought, paid for corporate shills. But what I'm saying is there is no one on what we think of as our side of the fence, the people in the public, like people in positions of authority, like maybe Dan Bongino or even Donald Trump or somebody. How about Elon tweeting out, what the hell's going on here? Like nobody's touching it. Why, Laura, why do you think nobody's touching it?
That's a good question. I'm starting to kind of go into a different direction on all this. It's just kind of like coming in. I think why nobody's touching it is, and it kind of connects into this, is it just feels across the board, but it's like switch sides a little bit, and it kind of goes back and forth. with what we saw with George Floyd, which was, obviously on the other side, and then what we saw
100%.
January 6th with Antifa, with fake MAGA, with what we see with, every kind of scenario, news event under the sun, that there's just so much confusion and distortion, white hat, black hat. And now Jimmy Kimmel, who mentioned something about Trump, would have been more protected back in Biden's time, and now it's like flipped. But freedom of speech has to be freedom of speech. I don't care like who it is, right? So, the question of what's staged versus what isn't, I think, is where people are feeling the most frustration, and that's why shows like this are good, because you guys are disseminating and really digging deep into it all. But what exactly were you asking? What weren't they touching it? Are you talking about who again?
Well, can I? Nobody can answer. I think to address the freedom of speech. Listen, I'm absolutely agreeing that freedom of speech is a big deal, but Jimmy Kimmel doesn't fall within the freedom of speech when he's being paid by Disney to do a television show.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
he had freedom of speech. He expressed it. He got fired for it, but he had, and that's a private contract. But by the way, they brought him back. They're bringing him back tomorrow. You guys heard that,
right? But I'm just saying that if you see like celebrities quoting that freedom of speech is on the line, you can see just how much this is all part of this steered narrative, right? The deep state is crumbling. So much is coming to the surface that when you see characters being taken down, they're complaining that it's a breach of free speech. When I don't know, it's a little bit different when somebody like Tom Hanks is being called out, or those particular players are being fired because the system is shifting, and the corporations or the interplanetary corporate conglomerate or military industrial complex is losing its grip. You know what I mean?
I mean, to me, free speech is only suppressed when they attack your ability to speak. If they take you off Twitter, if they take you off YouTube, if they take you off of Facebook, if they take you off of the town square, the ability to communicate your message, that's an oppression of free speech. If they fire you from your cushy $17 million a year TV show, they're not oppressing your free speech.
Oh, no, and I'm not bummed about that.
If they debank you, that's one thing. But your employer, I think that, your employer should be able to fire you if you do something that's outrageous.
But do you see the outrage coming from celebrities that have been called out for pedophilia? It's just the game of it all is just insane.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I have to tell you, I think this is a sensitive subject. Like, not that we're comparing the people and the purpose, but if you look at the George Floyd incident, right, it was a very touchy subject. People were very careful what they said, and especially people on that side that were, part of the group that didn't want to insult their own people by saying maybe they didn't think it was true. And I think with Charlie Kirk, there's so many inconsistencies. We know there's military operations going on. We know that the White Hats have so many things going on behind the scenes that we don't find out until after it's over. And I just think that the inconsistencies, if you're discerning, are pretty obvious. For people who are very emotional and people who, are holding to a very plain narrative that you just see on the news, they're not being discerning about all these other things. Like Mike, you said, the hand signals and this and that. But I tend to think that there's a lot more to this than we see. I tend to think that without being disrespectful in any way, that this is sort of the patriot version of the George Floyd, if you will, because of how it's affected people.
Hey,
and it's a very
I just sent you the text message. I figured you probably didn't see it. But we're on a live show right now with like 7 people on here. We're getting into some heated conversation about the shooting. I thought maybe you might want to pop in for like 10-15 minutes.
So the point is, I think people are probably a little worried about saying too much that goes against the fact that maybe he's not, it's a psyop of some kind. Mel, you gotta
I thought the conversation
you gotta
was
silence yourself.
Mel, you gotta mute.
Mel, mute yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that, I think people are reluctant, to really say it. And I'm just, listen, I might be hated for this, but I'm just not convinced it really happened. So, and that begs the question, these patriots that are in these positions that are like Charlie, are they part of the plan, to wake people up and to make people realize just how bad certain things have gotten? And, are they part of the plan to go along with a narrative that would take them out of the picture for a while? I don't know. We're disseminating, a lot of the information is still coming out and we're all trying to figure it out.
But Mike, the roundtable we did, right? It was very different as far as some people saying that he's been taken off into witness protection program, and it's just, I don't know.
Look, I'm sorry. I saw.
That's too. I'm sorry.
I saw a guy get shot. I saw a young man get shot right here, and it looked like the shot came from the right and went out that way.
But Mike, we just all saw what was done with the languages. Okay, what is possible, and how they can make things look. And if you're not standing right there, which none of us were, we can't really be 100% on either side. I mean, it's all speculative, and we talk and we're throwing ideas out, but I think if you stand on either side, you can make a very powerful argument either way.
I was just on the phone, guys, with Jesse, the guy in the garage. I thought maybe he'd come on, but he's in the middle of putting a truck back together. I just don't know how people. Imagine him coming because he's very boisterous on this whole thing with Charlie Kirk shooting. I mean, extremely boisterous.
Yeah. I wrote a book about the Kennedy assassination and how it had to do with Kennedy's desire to go to the moon with the Russians in concert, and that they were going to find alien technology there, and that would expose a lot of things the deep state didn't want exposed. And it's funny because you hear all this stuff about Lee Harvey Oswald this and Lee Harvey Oswald that, and he was just a patsy and all that. And I'm sorry, but when I went through the evidence and the research, I'm convinced there were 2 gunmen at Dealey Plaza, and probably only 2, and Lee Harvey Oswald was one of them. There's no evidence of that. There's only evidence of 2 and 4 shots. And there isn't any that I found. But I'm just it's like, I don't know. What are we gonna find as we dig into this rabbit hole? I mean, this one, the Kennedy assassination was sloppy because they only had 10 days from the time they decided to do it to execute it. So there was a lot of holes. This one, they have time to bury this. So what do you guys think? I'm really curious. What do you think what's the most important thing? The most important thing we have to force into the open on this, to force a proper, real investigation, and not have another Warren Commission whitewash by the Freemasons. What's the one thing? Stu, Chuck, I want to hear it.
Well, I think the whole point of the Q operation was to create an army of journalists to counter the mainstream or fake stream media. There's so many similarities to this shooting, to the JFK operation, and I was going to say, Trump said, you believe this or not, if we see bad things in the future, AI is so good, a lot of it might be AI. To keep your wits about you. So I think the more we push the information out, it doesn't matter these people in power and stuff don't do this. I mean, Cash has said we're going to investigate everything. And all the stuff we're putting out, Cash is now saying, we're going to look into this, and we're going to look into those hand signals, and we're going to look into this sort of stuff. And it's all been pushed out into normie land. And the other thing about it is as well, isn't it, the fact that this demonic people on the left that are coming out celebrating this now, it is steering a lot of the people from the left, number one, to come away from that side, and we can talk about religion and stuff like that, but it's turning the people back to God, a revival, things like that. And
I tweeted out on X yesterday, Satan had a really bad day yesterday. Two people had bad days yesterday. The New Orleans Saints and Satan had really bad days yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say something else then, but I've forgotten it. So keep talking. I think.
But I mean,
but investigation insinuates, like, to me, if who is investigating and who's the cause?
Right, and I mean, because
but if some reason this is an operation that's part of the movie and part of what's going on, then then no one's going to really investigate. I mean, they're going to say they're investigating, but maybe it's not really something that, how do I say this, needs to be investigated in the way that we think it does. So the question is it
he's talking about, to me, the fact that he's putting out there the hand signals thing, which nobody in mainstream media is talking about, almost forces it to be covered to some extent in the media, the mainstream media. And to me, that implies that they're seriously going to go after this. Like this is some sort of watershed moment because, you know, we didn't get shit with the Epstein files, obviously, right? So Cash and Dan were part of that, and Pam Bondi were part of that decision.
But that doesn't mean it's not coming, Mike. I mean,
Okay.
it's all in the timing of what has to be done, and to like we have to understand that just because they put out certain things doesn't mean the timing's right, because it'll fulfill what we want to give and say.
8 years since we caught the Obama people red-handed,
And that's not a lot
treason,
of time.
and nobody
that's
has
not a lot of
been
time in
arrested.
the middle of a movie.
It's been 8 years.
And then Fulford said stuff like this is- there's a double Trump. I mean, do you guys ever listen to what Fulford has to say? I mean, it's just it's just madness everywhere you turn.
I know. I love Ben. He's very entertaining, but occasionally he goes off into batshit land, and I'm like, okay, not going there with you, Ben. No,
I know, right?
The other thing I was going to say about the left coming across on the revival thing, it's also a lot of people on the left now are looking into Charlie Kirk, and they're going and searching out Charlie Kirk videos and finding out that he was a goodly, godly man and he was speaking common sense, whereas the fake stream media have told him something completely different. And all these people are posting videos on TikTok and stuff now going, oh my God. It's every little thing that happens every day is waking someone else up, and another person and another person, and another person. And we got to get over this 80%, you know, have we got to get to a certain point when they drop the hammer that there's clean and swift, no civil unrest.
That would be ideal. Yeah.
Mike, let me interject this to you. In this whole thing, what I believe is supposed to happen in the end is we're all going to be Charlies. It doesn't really matter if he did die or he didn't die. It's what has happened, like you were saying just a minute ago, it's moving the line. And that's what's happening. More people are starting to wake up and understand in the end, they'll be more awake. And that's what we want to happen.
And
whether he died or he didn't die, it has exactly the same effect.
Right.
And love has to rule. I mean, no matter how divided they try and make us over this left versus right crap, we have to help deprogram people by holding the line of love and compassion as well, because these are really, really deep, ingrained indoctrination programs. And I think we would end the division and just holding, you know, and which we do, a much more unified front and understanding to how, you know, others are being played from a standpoint of, you know, more compassion. I think that's what people like us hold, because we know the level of manipulation for the people that have fallen for all the different kind of psyops. Some psyops that we're still trying to figure out, but that love will overcome the conquer and divide, and that people will find more commonality than the political divide, which I don't feel the Trump administration is a part of in the way that these others have been since the 50s.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm glad Erica Kirk forgave them for what they did, because I sure can't. You know, I can't, and I don't want that. I don't want to wake anybody else up. If you're not awake by now, I've given up on you. I just want to get into the world that we're supposed to have, as opposed to this insane world we're living in. And I mean, people don't call me impatient. You know, it's been 10, 15, 20 years that I've been waiting for us to engage with these people. And by engage, you can take that in a military context if you want. I'm just tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of our people getting killed. I'm sick of our people, the good people, suffering while this evil is permitted to fester and infect the body politic and in fact the entire human psyche. And I've had it. And this killing is the bottom line for me now. I'm not in charge. If I was, things would be happening a lot differently right now. I mean, so it's good. Maybe it's a good thing I'm not in charge, Laura. I'd like to be peace and love and light, but I just.
But that's not what I mean. It sounded like that, and that's not where I'm at. I'm incredibly impatient. I'm really done with it in so many ways. I just mean move on. Let's pull our resources together, live the life and timeline that we know is ours. We don't have to red pill and like worry about those that aren't ready to wake up. But when they do, that there's open arms. There's not this there's us and then you guys.
Well, when they wake up, but I'm tired of trying to wake them up. I'm tired of, of pretending like reality isn't reality to accommodate their psychosis. I'm done with that. It's like
I let go of that a long time ago.
As far as I'm concerned.
I can't put my attention there either. That I don't go in those places and try and wake those people up. If they come to me and they want a reading and they're trying to acclimate to this awakening process, I will hold their hand and help as I'm processing and working it out myself. That's what I mean.
You're a good person.
Yeah,
I'm
thinking about myself.
Yeah. By the way, guys, real quick, this is Nikki Monique's channel. She's got the link to WeTransfer to download the movie in Spanish. She's got a huge crowd there on her channel. So if any of you guys out there bilingual, Nikki Monique, that's her channel right there. Go give her a follow. Tell her Mel Carmine sent you.
No.
See, there's enough for everybody to go around, baby. Okay.
Can I ask you a favor, Mel? If you translate into Russian, can you also change me in the AI to make me look like Ivan Drago from Rocky IV at the same time? I am Drago. Can you do that for me, please, buddy?
Sure.
Make me look like Dolph Lundgren while I'm speaking Russian.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's so many opinions out there on the shooting and what freedom of speech should be, what it shouldn't be. Look, at the end of the day, no one's allowed to speak freely in the United States of America, and definitely not on social media platforms. So the movie was created and intentionally designed to capture the attention. But, we didn't know that on the 10th, we released the movie on the 9th, and on the 10th, Charlie got shot. It's okay, so we got to keep the name, Dear Mr. President, out there. Look, is Charlie dead as far as I'm concerned? Yes. I think he's dead. There's some people in right here that think he's alive? Yes. Do I have to get along with them? Do I have to agree what they agree in order for us to get along? No. We can still get along. We can still disagree to agree to disagree, whatever. But the reality is, this guy's long gone as far as I'm concerned. I could be wrong. Would I love for him to be alive? Let me just paint the picture for you, okay? For whatever it's worth. If he's alive, his wife would probably go give him some visits, right? Okay? I would just tail his wife, and in about 22 days, we would find out that Charlie is alive and well in Buenos Aires, Argentina, wherever he's at, Valhalla, over in New Zealand, okay? But the reality is that's not going to happen either, because his wife and children, if they knew that he's definitely alive and this whole thing was staged, it's just too much,
Well, then if that's the case too, it's going to completely undermine whatever people who have any faith in government left. It's going to undermine if they say, "Oh no, it was a trick. We did it to catch the bad guys."
But
there goes your credibility too. They can't. That's why they can't
ever say that. We don't know anything when it all comes down to it, because we don't even know. Listen, I'm only speaking for myself. And if his wife, if that's really what happened, there's no way the day after my husband is shot in front of me and my children that I'm going to have the composure to go on TV and talk about this. That's me. Maybe she's a bigger, more, put together person than I am. But right there, as a woman, I'm finding that hard to believe. They would have to sweep me off the floor, So there's so many inconsistencies. And you want to know something? I think that's how they want it. And I don't think, to your point, there's ever going to be, we're never really going to know the truth. They may give us a truth that we're supposed to accept and swallow about, investigations and all this. But I just think what we're meant to do, to Laura's point, is we have to just keep doing what we're doing, and we have to just keep moving forward and living on the timeline that we want to be on. And as far as waking people up, that's not really our job anymore. It's not.
And the thing is, we stand for truth, not deception, not facades, not appearances to try and achieve some kind of goal with the sleepers, right? So if that's happening, great. That's not what we do. We can support here and there and whatever, and be comrades to those that have powerful voices that we've supported, but I'm not into the AI false stories, any kind of facade, any kind of white hat theater.
Me
They
too.
have to do that, great, but that's not who we are, I feel.
There's a gentleman here that it's where we go all, we go one, whatever, thinks that Mel doesn't know how this works. And maybe you might be right, but I still love you.
I think the biggest thing to look at about that whole event is that is a crime scene. And the way they carried his body off and the way they shut that down and just started dismantling and everything, putting in a new patio the next day and all these sorts of things should never, ever have happened.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think something bigger than Charlie's going to happen, guys? Do you think that there's something else that's on the agenda that is going to outdo this one?
Yes. I do.
Okay. You do. Okay. Enlighten me. Stu's up late. Stu's a trooper. He's over in England over there. It's like midnight over there.
Well, I mean, what's bigger than this? I mean, a political assassination right in front of our eyes. It's even more dramatic than Kennedy was, because back in those days you had hours report, you had delays and you didn't see any video of the actual incident. There wasn't a camera in everybody's hand. The only thing, I mean, 3i Atlas turns out to be an alien spacecraft. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that's going to top this and take it off the news. And I just feel different. I feel different than I did before it happened. And
you didn't have an add-on army in those days.
You didn't what?
You didn't have an add-on army in those days, digging into everything like we do.
No, so I can't think of what would be bigger than this at the moment.
Well, Cliff Eye talks about an event bigger than 9/11 to a ratio of 13, 14 times. Now, we listen to everyone, we watch everything, we read all we can, never believe anything unless we can prove it in our own right. But we have to take on board what everyone's saying. And was that the scare necessary event? Was Convent the scare necessary event? Is something coming? So we can see how much of a divide there is still. So if we get to that 4 to 6% that's been stated before, are we there yet? I've just listened to the Ghost and Nino earlier, and you said we're about 83% and all that, but that's come down a little bit because so many people have blackpilled and gone the other way.
This is a good one. Y'all ever hear of the Witness Protection Program? I'm Sicilian. I think so. Yes. I think I've heard of the Witness Protection Program. I think they created it because of us Sicilians.
I have to say goodbye, you guys.
Dave, thank you for coming.
Hi, Laura. Love you.
Great to meet you. See you guys next time.
We'll talk soon. She's so great. Everybody loves Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very sweet.
Yes, we've heard of we've definitely heard of the Witness Protection Program. Yeah. But the thing is, some really good investigator with a lot of money or a lot of backing could not tail the wife going to visit her husband at the facility, wherever it is that she's going to meet with her husband.
But what if she's in witness protection with him and we're not seeing the real wife? And I'm not saying I believe that or anything, but Mel, they don't put people in witness protection and leave the family behind. The family goes with them.
Okay,
you know that from our
they
mob.
explain this 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, or 6 months from now, or 10 years from now. How are they going to explain it to the American people? Say we did this because of X, Y, and Z. They're not. They're not going to explain it.
I will explain it because we have been psyoped and brainwashed and steered in certain directions for 100 to 6,000 years. Now, to infiltrate these fuckers back, you have to infiltrate them back. Infiltration, not invasion. And a lot of these good guys might have had to do some fucking nasty things, because when you've got a cabal as clever as they are, and no one can deny that they're not clever, right, for what they've done to us all, you have to be as clever and as devious. You know, you can even talk about Tom Hanks if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Is he as bad as we think he is? Or is it the Charlie Kirk version? And is he, you know, been infiltrating back? We don't know. The truth to know will be yours. How that's going to filter out, I do not know. But we've just got to keep our wits about us at all times and have an open mind.
Well, you wrote a nice big sentence over here, Shaman.
There's many in Valhalla.
There is, huh?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
I'm sure.
They've actually been a part of this whole movement. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
What makes a great movie? Good movie. Great actors.
Totally. Yeah. Glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, we're lucky to be alive through this time. As up and down as it is.
Yeah.
What part of England are you from?
I'm from Kent in the UK, as close as you can get to France.
My daughter actually lives in London, so we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ron, one more thing. I'd like to say something to you. For years, I saw you on Nino's doing your crypto updates.
Yeah.
And I often wanted to just be right there beside you to kind of give you some help.
Well, you know, that was in my early days. I don't really do the crypto stuff anymore. I mean, I know about it, but I kind of went back into my lane, which is more history, and I love the crypto. I like, you know, it's done well for me, but you know, my passion is history, and you know, to echo your guys' sentiments, it's, you know, what a time to be alive. But you know, I completely relate to Mike in terms of just, God, it's like, when is this going to be freaking over? I'm exhausted. And largely, as you know, just all the stuff that's happened after Charlie was shot, I just checked out, and as I felt, you know, I mean, you go to YouTube, go to wherever, and it's like nothing but Charlie Kirk talk. It's like did I just wake up on 9/12/2001, or, you know, September 20 or November 24th, November 23rd of 63, because it was like just nonstop coverage of Charlie Kirk. Not that I have anything against Charlie Kirk, but it's like, man, I only have so much bandwidth, and this topic, it's like, I mean, the horse is dead, and you're still kicking it, and it's still being kicked right now. So I just,
this is going to go on for another month.
Yeah, this is a long time.
Yeah,
it's part of the move.
And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to Charlie Kirk in any way, shape, matter, or form. I'm just,
let me wrap this whole thing up. We got a bunch of clones, people wearing masks. We got people in the witness protection program. We're in a movie, but they're never going to tell us what they did or how they did it, because we're not that important.
I don't think it's about importance, Mel. It's not about importance. You're fighting a cabal that has been around for thousands of years.
I've been away for 38 years. You know, I've been around.
Well, maybe in 38 years we'll find out. But this is all about our importance, so that we can overcome the power and the slavery that we've been in. And we need to have that bigger view. Is it annoying? Is it crazy making? Is it frustrating? Yeah. You know, I like to sound like the voice of reason, but Lord knows when I'm not on camera, I'm freaking out too, because I'm sick and tired of waiting as well. But this is not about us not being important. This is about a military operation that has to be done with precision. Right. And
I think they are going to come clean. Tell us. They might not tell us how they did the cure operation, in case they have to do it again in another fucking 1,000 years. Yeah. But I think they will come clean. I think JFK Jr. is alive, and I think he's coming out.
Is that my friend Craig Stewart in the Carolinas? Say yes if it's you. It's probably you. I can't remember everybody's full name. I bet you it's him.
Oh, by the way, Ron, I still send people that video you did with Nino about 4 years ago when they want to get into crypto.
Wow.
And they're asking me now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah. It was about 45 minutes, I think, wasn't it? But yeah, it was great.
Is that the one where I use the the analogy that Mel likes so much about sending stuff with the I think I used like Venmo or Cash App or something like that as a.
Yeah, I think you were talking about having your wallet as an old iPhone, and I think you were demonstrating the Flare network, and you stopped it, and it had Trump in a little box.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, the Flare network, and ironically, there's I still think that's in play. I still think that's in play. There's so much out there that we just don't know about. I mean, I have some fairly decent contacts, and multiple people tell me that look, there's things that are coming that haven't even been released yet that are going to. I mean, we're not that XRP is not important; it's not going to play a role, but there's other things out there that are going to, that are also going to be important. So,
like World Liberty Finance,
I have no idea.
6,000 patents hidden.
We're actually releasing a lot of them every day. We go through and analyze a lot of cryptos that are coming out right now, and we know the ties to who's all involved. We know they're going to be important. So there's a lot of those out there right now you can invest in, but make sure your XRP and XLM bags are up.
Yeah,
they are. Guys, I have to go. I have to go myself, Mel. Thanks for having me back on. Sorry I was late.
Thank
See
you.
you next week. Love you guys. Great to meet you two guys, Chuck. And it's I think you're a great addition to have you here. I appreciate it a lot. And
thanks. I appreciate you too.
All right, bye, guys.
Cheers, Mike.
Bye-bye. So I know Greg Stewart. I know a couple of Greg Stewarts. One is in the Carolinas. I did my very first podcast, and this guy might be the guy that's a really good friend of mine who also owns a center in Scotland. Is that you? Are you the one in Scotland or the one? Yeah, he's probably the one. Probably the one in Scotland. Yeah. So
I like Lizard King's response. That was spot on.
Yeah. There's a lot of hype going on, man. There's a lot of confusion. People are saying, there's people in the crowd with guns. I'm one of those people, but I don't know. I can't see who's got the gun. There's thousands of people there. I don't see any muzzle flag. There's not a good angle on if there is one. The guy's incriminating the crime scene, taking all the cameras and all the evidence away. And there's just too many things that point to this foul play here at the highest level. I don't know. I mean, like my good friend Jess, the guy that swears like a drunken sailor, the guy in the garage, you know who he is, right? He said that Kash Patel should resign. That's how pissed off he is.
I don't know about that. You guys know Bongino's story, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, he basically, for those of you in the audience that don't know Bongino's story, Bongino resigned from the Secret Service before his pension kicked in. So he was willing, and then he ran for office. He ran for he ran for Congress, and then he ran for Senate. And in those runs for office, that's when he met the guy who helped him produce his podcast. When he went into one of the radio stations for an interview about being a candidate. So, I mean, life obviously works, God works in mysterious ways, but that's what launched him into podcasting. But all that being said, it just goes to show you I mean, remember earlier when he was like, I'm out of here when his fight with Bondi. So if Bongino's on board with this, I have a level of comfort knowing that he wouldn't stand for anything that was going to be detrimental to the country. I truly believe that Bongino's heart is in the right place. And if he knows something that we don't, it's not coming out for a reason. And, every time the media or some politician comes out and says something about a fact in the case, it's bullshit, because you're not going to prosecute the case and poison the jury pool when with facts about the case that aren't going to be mentioned. You're not going to mention that stuff in the public domain. It just doesn't work that way.
Correct.
So
Right. Well, I got to live up to my word, guys. I always say that we got to have a funny video, 1 or 2 funny videos. I got one that I think you guys will enjoy. Some of you guys may have seen this one. It's got like 18,000 retweets already, but I thought it was hysterical. So here we go.
Send that to Dave. I swear to God. We love you, Mr. Trump. Oh my
We're
God.
going to do so much for the women. You have no idea. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be truly amazing. So many patriots here in Connecticut. We love Connecticut. But we never won this state, I don't think. I think it's blue. I think it's blue. But
Yes, it is, Mr.
next
Trump.
time in 2028 when I'm president, it's going to be red then. I don't know.
Oh my God.
We're looking into it very strongly. And if anybody don't like me in Connecticut, they're going to get the Johnson & Johnson. It's made out of Trump blood and Clorox. It really don't work, but it makes you keep your job. Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
All right, let's.
How funny is that one?
That was hilarious.
That's just, did you guys see that one yet or no?
Yeah.
I'm showing
Can I share my screen, Mel? I've got one little video to share.
Sure. Put it in here. We'll share it.
How do I do it? Share screen. Entire screen. There. Share. All right. Does that come? There we go. All right. Can you all see that?
Yep.
I'm going to mute myself.
Hit the play button.
What are your thoughts on the new vaccines that they're pushing out now?
I mean, I think that going and getting a COVID-19 booster is now reserved for the mentally ill and those who are making a political statement. I've seen this. I'm not going to listen to anything Secretary Kennedy says. I'm going to go get a COVID-19 booster. There is nothing, and we document this very, very carefully in our book. There's nothing in the COVID-19 vaccine program, starting with the fact they don't work. They don't prevent infection and transmission. The entire COVID-19 vaccine program is a fraud. So I think the American people are going to have to wake up to this reality. The public needs to understand that the pharmaceutical companies purchase all of this advertising, not actually to sell pharmaceutical products. If you have an ailment, you can go to your doctor. Your doctor is aware of the pharmacopoeia for your ailment. It's to buy media influence. So guys like him aren't allowed to go on the mainstream media to raise questions, to propose conversations about this, because if he does, the principal advertising purchaser is going to call the news director and say, get him off. So I hope it's not too confusing of a point. They're not selling pharmaceutical products, they're buying the narrative.
What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
I got one. I shared. It's in the queue.
This one? No, that's the one you saw.
Before you start, I want to let everybody know that I put that link for that YouTube video regarding the public and private ledgers.
Okay.
In the chat of the actual channel.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Tom Michaels, and I want to invite you to my new laundromat, White's Only Laundry. We specialize in only washing your white laundry, so your linens, socks, and undershirts will look fresher than ever. By focusing just on white laundry, our prices are 25% lower than the other guys. Plus, get an extra 10% discount by singing our slogan at the register. Hope to see you soon. Hi.
You gotta put it back. You gotta put it back.
Yeah, is that over?
You gotta put it back. You gotta put it back. It's not done yet.
Oh shit!
It's not done yet. Hold on.
I thought it was over.
No. Nope. Nope.
Hi, it's Tom again from the laundromat that's been in the news, and I really want to apologize. I definitely should have realized that the name White's Only Laundry sounds racist, is racist, and that was not my intention at all. But we've changed the name and fixed the problem. White's Only Laundry is now No Coloreds Laundry. It still gets across that we can't wash colored clothes without any of the racial connotations of whites only. Plus, to make up for our terrible mistake, come on in before Friday and you'll get yourself a free t-shirt. Just don't wash it here because it has all these colors on it.
Don't turn it off.
Hi, it's Tom again. I'm so sorry. I feel terrible. Obviously, changing the name only made things worse, and neither one of those are appropriate names for a laundromat or any business or anything. But I'm gonna make things right. First, for the African American community, I've installed a special side entrance so that you'll know you're definitely welcome in my laundromat. Also, I've set aside separate but equally powerful washing machines exclusively for your use in the back of the laundromat, although they still only wash white clothes. And this time, to ensure I don't upset or disrespect anyone, I'm naming it after myself. And since my sister just had a baby, everybody come on down to Uncle Tom's Laundromat. Remember, whites only, no colors, and blacks enter through a special side entrance.
There you go.
Hey,
That's it.
I don't think anybody's ever said it any better than George Carlin. If you're born on this planet, you got a ticket to the freak show. If you're in the United States, you got a front row seat.
Yeah.
You know,
To me, that was just, that was hilarious to me for obvious reasons. But
yeah. Hey, Chuck, did you put it in here? Your link, just so I could expose it.
Well, it's about 30 minutes on this video, but listen, once you start to listen to this guy talk, it will absolutely blow you away. You're going to realize we're very rich, by the way.
Yeah, let's put the link in here. This way people can have access to it.
Yeah, I did. I put it in the channel.
Can you put it again? Because I don't, it's probably went up the
directly, on our StreamYard.
No, it's in the YouTube part. I'm over in YouTube.
Okay, you got to put it in here.
This is all new to me, so I got to figure all this out. So
no worries. You're
I
good.
don't even know how to mute myself.
What if he texts it to you, Mel, and you put it in the chat?
We might be able to do that. Text it to me.
Hold on, let me grab it real quick.
In the meantime, let's show this one's 2 minutes, 17 seconds. My favorite number, 17. Here we go. This one's awesome.
We've even seen the tip of the iceberg. I think that the potential of what the internet is going to do to society, both good and bad, is unimaginable. It's just a tool, though, isn't it? No, it's more than that. For instance, I think in the future we'll be wasting hours and hours of our lives just watching videos of cats and dogs being adorable, and we'll share those videos with our friends, and our friends will respond not with words, but with a row of little circular laughing cartoon faces. And we'll call that progress. And also, we won't be able to watch any of those videos without having to skip an advert first. And that advert will be tailored to your internet viewing habits. Although for some reason it'll always be about some disgusting oatmeal cereal that you'll never buy anyway. And we'll also spend vast portions of our time on websites called social media sites, which we will hate, but we will have 6 different accounts for, and we'll spend most of our time looking for people online to have arguments with. And there will be far-right groups spreading misinformation about immigration on these social media sites, which will then be shared by members of our own family. And this will confirm what we've always suspected, which is that our Auntie Linda is a massive racist. And most importantly, we'll be able to access all of this on our phone. So when we go to bed, we'll take our phone with us. When we go to the toilet, we'll take our phone with us. When we come out of the shower, we'll grab our phone to see if we missed anything. And we won't dry ourselves with a towel anymore. We'll just sit on the edge of it, just dripping wet, scrolling on our phones. Just scrolling and scrolling. Because the scrolling never ends. You just keep scrolling. And one day a far-right government will take advantage of the fact that we're just spending all day arguing with strangers on the toilet, and they will seize power whilst we're not looking, and that is when freedom and democracy will become a thing of the past. I imagine. I mean, I'm just guessing.
We're there now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Funny. It's so funny. Hey guys, I just want to tell you, just on a lighter note, I saw Eric Clapton in New York at the Garden on Friday night. One word: flawless. It was such an amazing show. Mel, I think I was sending you some videos while I was there. It was so, I mean, the guy was what, 80, 81? I mean, unbelievable.
Right. Hey, Ron, you said there's something?
Well, no, I mean, I was just talking about a lighter note and something a little bit more lighthearted and fun, especially for cat people like myself. This isn't very long, but I wouldn't play the whole thing, but I wanted to show you something.
Mm-hmm.
In this ancient city, once ruled by sultans and emperors, the real king is the humble alley cat. An army of furry-tailed street cats are fed, sheltered, and cooed at by an adoring public in Turkey's historic commercial capital, Istanbul.
Yeah, you're such a pretty girl.
This British expat even started an advocacy group for her cats in her neighborhood, Cihangir.
Before I started looking after them, there was, kittens after kittens after kittens. And now, all right, there are kittens, but they'll all be spayed and neutered.
For the last 30 or 40 years, Cihangir is known for cats. There's a story saying that the first apartments were built and the sewage systems were also built, of course, and then mice problems started to appear around, and then people started to keep cats. And from that day and so on, we have cats all around, and they're in our lives, and they shape our lives. For example, my husband drives a scooter every day to work, but once there was a cat sleeping and he couldn't move it, he just walked.
So I'll pause it there. I've looked into this. This is fascinating to me because in Istanbul, it's all the cats are wild. I mean, there's like millions of stray cats, and they're all and the people there, they treat them. They don't kill them. They actually like take care of them. You got street vendors who have like pots for like, hey, donate $1 or something to buy food for the cats, and the whole city takes care of the wild cat population in Istanbul. I was very touched by it, actually.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron, I heard in this new
we'll do one
paradigm that we'll go to that all the animals will be free.
Yeah. Including us. We're animals too, aren't we?
I'm ready. Sign me up.
Check this one out.
What do billionaires use as materials for their houses? As a carpenter, I've worked on the homes of billionaires, multiple billionaires, a neighborhood full of only billionaires. To be in there, your house costs minimum a few $100 million. And you know what they all use without exception? Copper plumbing. So what's the deal with copper? I also see quite often they use copper gutter systems, as well as copper roofs. Well, copper is contact killing, meaning if bacteria lands on copper, it'll be dead within minutes to hours. It kills 99.9% of bacteria within 2 hours naturally. And what do you and I have in our homes? Well, we have good old PVC, plastic. Copper kills not only bacteria, but viruses as well, with a 99.99999% kill rate of viruses within 6 hours. In hospitals, copper surface ICU rooms saw a 97% drop in surface pathogens. Copper-silver ionization is an approved way that hospitals use to disinfect their water. And copper water vessels see a complete bacterial elimination overnight. And mind you, we are water beings, being over 60% water by composition. So when money is not an option and you could get the best of the best, they use copper to touch all of their water.
Guess what I'm doing? I'm going to buy a house with copper in it.
Yep.
Do you want one quick Charlie Kirk video?
Sure. Let me stop sharing this one.
This is one of my favourite ones. This. That should be sharing. Hold up. Yeah, ready?
How are you guys doing?
Why do you ask?
Good. What's your sign against?
Who do you think? It doesn't have to be against anything. It's against the idea of racism.
Oh, I agree with that completely.
All right.
Would you say Donald Trump is a racist?
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt.
What would be your evidence of that?
You know, if you don't know, there's no point in discussing.
Can you give me?
Sure, no. Can
you give me one piece of evidence?
No, I don't know.
No, one piece of evidence.
We don't really need to talk to you at all.
You don't, but can you give me one piece of evidence of Donald Trump being
Every
racist?
time you why you support Donald Trump.
Just one.
Tell me why you support Donald Trump. Why do
Lowest
you
ever
support
black
Donald Trump?
unemployment rate, largest middle class tax cut in American history, lowest ever Hispanic unemployment rate, lowest women unemployment rate in 60 years, lowest youth unemployment rate in 50 years, denuclearization on the North Korean, the Korean Peninsula, moving the embassy, to Jerusalem, withdrawing from TPP, first time that America's energy independent, no longer relying on Saudi Arabia, Russia for oil, getting NATO to
None of this is
well,
you know, you read
which of those facts that I just said?
Where do you get your news?
Well, actually, from independent sources that you would agree with.
No, you don't.
Well, what did I just say that's untrue?
Everything.
Name one.
Brainwashed.
You know, it's the lowest ever black unemployment rate. Lowest. So you would say Donald Trump is Hitler. Wow. Can you name one racist thing he said?
Yes, plenty, but there's
Name
no
one.
point in doing it with you.
Just one. Just one.
California to the New York Islands.
Keep singing if Donald Trump's the greatest president ever. Well, we have agreement on that.
You know, the leftists have got to be the dumbest people on planet Earth, and they prove it time and time and time again. They're the least prepared. They have no answers, and they act foolish when they don't have any answers. They act like the fools that they actually are. They're ill-equipped. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so I was just feeling the rage as I was watching that, because they don't base anything in facts and numbers, and that's exactly what he was showing. You know, he's brainwashed. That was rich.
Yeah.
That previous video showed it's something I used to say all the time. You post something that's topical, doctor's information, or anything like that, you get nothing. Facebook particularly. You post pictures of a talking cat, you get hundreds of views and likes.
Great.
Well, guys, it's been fun. We'll catch you on the next one next Monday. Let's hope that we get a nice turnout like we did today. Last week we only had 3 of us. It was like the 3 cast, not the 4 cast. But
well, the 5 cast today.
You're on board, right? You're on board, Stu?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And Chuck, I'm going to get you out there, and we're at some point I'm going to transition you out. We're going to start our own show, and then we're going to advertise that you're going to be on stage with Mark and Brian and doing the workshops on the new financial system. Let's stop calling it the quantum financial system, because a lot of scammers are using the QFS to scam people. So let's start calling it the new financial system, the financial system that you can't get away from. It's coming, and you cannot opt out. You have to come and learn and watch the pros in action on stage.
Oh no, just curious. I just caution. I wouldn't say you can't opt out. That means
how are you going to opt out? I mean, what are you just $1 with a dollar?
No. I'm just saying. Wording. I get that you can't opt out, but
right.
If you present it that you can't opt out, that seems forced. I would talk about it from the standpoint of like, hey, you can invest in the infrastructure now. It's like buying Amazon in '95. Something like that. That's a little bit more positive.
Well, I will say like opt out, like you have to invest. I'm saying opt out. You could just sit on the sidelines, and then the quantum financial system or the new financial system is going to run.
Mel, I completely understand what you're saying. I get it. I'm talking about. But if you're presenting it to an audience, they may not understand that. That's my point.
Right. Well, it's going to be free of charge to come down and take a look at what we have and ask questions, and that's why it's called a workshop. And hopefully they'll understand that this system is coming. Maybe I should go. I got an extra 500. I got an extra 5,000, whatever dollars that I could maybe invest. And if they do that, then if we change one person's life, that's good enough for me. You know what I mean? But we change a lot more.
It's a great idea. And hey, man, don't misunderstand me. I applaud
No,
what,
no,
you,
I'm not.
what you're talking about. I'm just saying. I'm trying to just be cautious of language because
What I'm trying to say
words
is
matter.
you can't opt out, and I'm not saying it to you, Ron. This is for the audience mainly. You can't opt out because it's coming, and the system is going to run whatever that new system is. And so, whether you're part of the investments or you're not part of the investments, understand that whatever money you have in the bank is going to be running on that new system. And
draw a parallel to like email.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can become wealthy just learning a couple of things and buying a few XRP and a few XLM, or become, comfortable. Let's say comfortable, very comfortable. Why wouldn't you do that? So, and then you'll be hanging out in the amazing frequency that allows the body to heal the body for 2 or 3 hours completely free of charge. You'd have to be crazy not to come down. But anyway, Chuck, thank you for coming. I look forward to talking with you off camera as well. Elisa and Ron, thank you. And Stu, all the way from England, thank you. And we'll catch you guys.
And Chuck,
next.
good to
Cheers,
meet
guys.
you. See you, Elisa.
Nice to meet all of you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.